were you like as a coach when you came home? Can you switch off? I can't imagine you switch off.
Yeah, I'm not bad.
You're not bad.
To be honest, I can switch off, and initially when I get home, and then I'll turn my phone off and I'll watch Saturday Night Takeaway or just completely stay away from football for the rest of that night. And then obviously the next day you're back on it. But I don't think people realise actually how tiring it is for a manager. See, when Klopp said he was leaving Liverpool because he needs a rest, I was thinking, I've done this for like 2 years, whatever. The years he's done it for, it is tiring.
It's the mentally tiring.
Yeah. It's just constant, It's constant of, preparing for this game and the minute's finished, obviously, even before you're preparing for the next game and so on, so it's non-stop.
Did you worry about finishing football? Did you ever think, what am I going to do the next 30, 35 years of my life? Because obviously a lot of footballers have that, all footballers have that same problem.
Not really. I knew I'd never be doing what you're doing. You're doing everything. But I didn't worry. I always felt I want to stay in football. Obviously, sometimes, like now, for instance, that's not always in your hands. But I think at some capacity, I'd want to stay in the game.
How long is it now since
January the 1st?
I remember when I left Valencia and it was a public annihilation I got at the time. And you didn't get annihilated, but you got some criticism and attention. You're Wayne Rooney, so that happens. Is that first 2 weeks almost like, how were you that first 2 weeks when you left, first few weeks?
Strange, because from 9 really, when I joined Everton, till then, it was the first time I've had like a break like that, because obviously you have your summer holidays when you're a player, but you're still, and then when I left Derby, I think it was like a week later, I went in DC.
Yeah.
When I left DC, it was 24 hours when I went in at Birmingham.
Yeah.
So it's the first time I've had off, and then you're reflecting a lot. You're thinking of things you could have done differently, or things you could maybe do better, or whatever. So and you're overthinking it. And then I think to be fair,
were you beating yourself up when you think about that around that time, or just
not
were you angry?
I've never been someone who blames people.
No.
I wouldn't look at other people and blame them. I think the owners are fantastic.
Yeah.
I think they will do really well in the future, but it's football. And when you go into the job, especially now, you go in as a manager, you can get sacked. We've seen it many times, and I think of course you don't want to, but that's part of the job, that can happen, and what's important is how you bounce back from that and how you apply yourself, really.
You're like probably the ultimate positive person probably that I've ever played football with, never even been with. What would you get down? Would you get down in the last few months when you wake? It's the first time you've woke up in your life the last few months where you've not been actually doing something. It's
strange. Don't get down over it, because it's life, and now I've got the opportunity at the moment to do a lot more with my children, seeing me kids play and taking them to training and stuff like that. But yeah, it is very strange, especially like on a weekend and what's going on. I went to the lakes last weekend, cleaned the kids, and it was so strange. Like there's football on, and it's a weird feeling. It's
weird or strange in a good way, or strange in like I'm not quite sure. I want to.
Of course, you want to be there. You want to, that's the buzz of football, the thrill of football, and whether that's a player or manager, that's what I know. That's what I love doing, and you want to be around that. And obviously, as a player, you're quite secure with that. Obviously, you retire, but as a manager, it's a little bit different. Yeah.
It is more insecure, not just insecure in terms of job, but insecure in terms of how it makes you feel. Do you think that? Did you feel? I felt insecure when I was in at Valencia.
Not insecure, no. Because I always believe in myself, and I believe, that I will be a top manager. I really do believe that, and it's the reason I went out to DC again to manage. It's the reason I went in at Derby as manager.
Would you go abroad again, or drop down the divisions?
Yeah, it depends obviously what that is and whatever. But of course, where I am in my managerial career, obviously I've had a setback. I might have to drop down. That's not an issue for me at all. My career as a player doesn't mean that I can walk into a top job as a manager, and I have to put the work in and to try and get there.
How do you keep your eye in as a manager when you're actually not in work? How do you sort of keep your the sessions, the tactics, the thinking, the game understanding?
It's watching football, and obviously you're trying to get to as many games as you can, and the game evolves quickly, and and a lot of teams are, especially now in the League One Championship now, you know, if you would have said 10 years ago these teams are going to be playing the football or playing, you would have, you'd never believe in. So I think the quality throughout the pyramid has gone better. So I think it's just obviously constantly watching and also it depends obviously when you go back in what level you're at as well in terms of the messaging you're giving to the players.
You said you didn't want to do what I do, but you were on television for the Merseyside derby. Why wouldn't you do that? Because to be honest with you, listening to you speak, particularly when you were getting into the detail of the sessions or working on strikers or talking about the game in terms of moves that players make, well, you were good at it for a start. You speak with authority. And I think people at home, well, we know they liked it. Why would you not do that more? I know I admire if you wanted to be a coach, but why would you rule that?
No, I'm not saying I wouldn't do that, of course. And what I'm saying is, my main priority is to get back into management, and you know, that might never happen. You don't know. And TV, I would do TV. I would do it. I've got a few more coming up. I've always said what I don't really want to do is commit too much and then let people down. I don't like doing that. So if I'm doing it, I'd want to be all in. Where if I commit myself too much, and then in 2 months' time, for instance, I'm saying, "Oh, listen, then
you'd feel bad about it."